Welcome to another episode. In this video I want to show you what's in my camera bag because a lot of you have been asking me to do a video on it, and I've struggled a little bit because it's really hard to show you what's in my bag because my bag keeps changing. Every job is different, so my bag will never look the same. So what I thought, I'll just show you most of the equipment I have and use. Keep in mind that I don't use every single piece of equipment and I don't carry every single piece of equipment I'm going to show to you. So let's start with that big orange backpack. The FSTOP Gear AJNA backpack. It's huge. And you know, I always talk about these little, keeping things light and small and compact and portable. This is really the opposite, but this is great because it allows me to take as much gear as possible as carry-on luggage on an airplane, which is really important. I don't like checking in my expensive camera equipment and then it disappears into I don't know where. This allows me to carry it on, and this is the biggest camera backpack you'll find that allows you to go carry on. I think it's 37 or 42 liters. Right here, right now. I love it. FSTOP makes great backpacks, and they make a whole range of backpacks. They have a great system which no one else has, which is called ICU, internal camera unit. Basically, you have a backpack and you have a camera unit that slides into the bag, which I'll show you right now. Love the bag as well. It's weather sealed. It's really robust and solid, and love it or hate it, they have back openings, so I can zip all this open and get access to all my camera gear right there. First thing is, so this would be an ICU. This is a small camera unit, a really small one actually, that I use for cables and whatnot. These are the ICUs that just slide into the bags. So they make different size bags, different size ICUs, you can combine them and whatnot. The one big thing about FSTOP that I'm a bit worried about is that they struggle to have their bags in stock, which is why I never link to them because I don't want to share something that you can't actually buy. This time you'll find the link in the description. In my other videos I try to avoid it. The link goes to an Australian shop because I know that they have them in stock. I actually have talked to the guys and they actually have a much better stock than FSTOP themselves. So even if you're in the US, consider buying them from those guys. I don't get paid to say that, I know because I've seen those guys and I know that they have a large amount of bags. So, great bag. Alright, ICU, so you can actually close them up. First things first, my laptop, which is the 12-inch Retina MacBook, and it's the most portable, thin and versatile laptop you can get, versatile maybe not. I've covered it in stickers to make it look less valuable. There's no Apple logo. It doesn't light up on this one. So love that. And it's super light. It's probably the first laptop that I ever picked up and thought, this is what you call portable. So I love this thing. It's really, really underpowered. And everything you see, my images, videos, everything is done on this. This is my only workhorse at the moment. I hope to upgrade to something more powerful in the future, which will be my base. But this is what I'll be using on the go. It works. You don't really need an incredibly powerful computer. You might just need a little more patience every now and then when it's processing. Love this tool. Next thing is a little pouch. This has a USB-C, and this is adapters and card readers and chargers for this laptop. So it adds a little bit of extra weight, but it's still a long way from being any other laptop in weight and size. Let's work our way through. I have a bunch of lens cloths. I try to distribute them throughout my whole bags everywhere because I tend to not find them when I need them, or they'll be in the different bag. So you'll find them all over the place. There is a bunch of gear in here which I use. These are almost all the pro lenses. The 12 to 40 is the only one that you won't find in here. There's space for the 12 to 40 in here, but that's currently filming us. I'll start from wide. I have the 8mm f1.8 Pro fisheye lens. The next one is the 12 to 100, which is I'm currently testing. I got it from Olympus. A really great lens because it's lens stabilization in here plus sensor stabilization. They make for some amazing capabilities for long exposure photography. And it's an f4 lens. I use all the pro lenses. They're really great because they're weather sealed and solid and sharp. The next thing is the 25, which is also borrowed from Olympus, a 25 f1.2 Pro lens. A really beautiful portrait lens. Now, if you know my photography, I'm not that big of a portrait photographer. But this is one of those lenses I really want, so maybe I will have to start shooting portrait photography to use it. Consider it. Next one, which is my only non-pro lens, is the 75mm f1.8. A really beautiful lens. It's really, really sharp. I love shooting this in my underwater housing to shoot surf with, and it's a really great street and portrait lens. The next one, almost forgot. My favorite lens is the 7-14mm f2.8 Pro lens. Incredibly sharp, incredibly wide. It's on my camera all of the time. So I have two bodies and it'll always be on my camera. The 40-150 f2.8 Pro. Love using this lens, even for landscapes. So it's a 80-300mm full frame equivalent. I love that it's so small and compact, and it's a really light lens for the range it covers. So great lens as well. Then the next one is a big boy. This is the 300mm f4IS Pro lens. So it's image stabilized in here as well, which works in combination with the sensor stabilization, the same as the new 12-100. This is quite a specific lens, and it's actually a 600mm full frame equivalent lens, so it's actually quite a long range and you don't get that much use out of it. But because it's so light and portable and so compact and so easy to carry around, and I can use it handheld, and I don't need a monopod or a tripod to use this thing, I actually use it a lot more than I ever thought I would. And I love shooting action sports with it, and I've even shot some landscapes with it. So check out the episode 2, Chasing Waterfalls, of adventure photography on location. I'll link it right there. And you will see how I use this lens for a waterfall shot. Next thing are my filters, and that's it. Right, ICU empty, goes on there. So my filters, I use a selection of various types of filters. I'm not restricted to one brand. So this is my little pouch here, which will have a lot of circular polarizers, and you'll find I have an old graduated filter. I'm hoping to upgrade my filter game a little. This is a bit outdated. So I started using 100mm square filters, and you will find a little stopper filter, 6-stop filter that I use for ultra long exposures. Then there is this one, which is basically the adapter for the wide angle lens, which is this one, which is always on. So it allows me a custom 3D printed filter, because this does not have any threads on it. It's got its own hood, so it doesn't allow you to screw on filters. This is a 3D printed thing, also linked in the description below. It allows me to fit the Lee square filter holder and different square filter holders as well. And that allows me to use the square filters, and I have a circular polarizer, which is 105mm, and it allows me to polarize the image shot with the really wide lens. The next thing is the Lumbar pack. This is my favorite backpack. Well, it's not really a backpack, but my favorite bag. It's a hiking bag, and it's not a camera bag, so I had to modify it a little. I'll show you. And I love that it's just around your waist, and you can also use it as a shoulder bag, which is great. And I think they also make a little thing so you can actually carry it like a backpack. This is basically my main tool for shooting photography. Everything in here is what I will use on that day. So what we'll have is, I'll start on the outside, a lens cleaning kit, walkie-talkies, Sim Valley, USB rechargeable, weather sealed walkie-talkies. In the inside, lens cloth, a couple of camera straps. I use Peak Design, which are awesome because they're non-branded, so it doesn't look like you're carrying an expensive camera, and they clip on and off to your cameras, which is awesome. Battery pouch. So I will hold up to 4 batteries in here, 2 cameras. Usually I have the lenses mounted, but for purposes of showing what's in my camera bag and one is actually filming, I can't actually have lenses on here. So this is currently the EM1 Mark 1, but will be upgraded to EM1 Mark 2, just like my other camera, which is the EM1 Mark 2. So 2 EM1 Mark 2s very soon. And basically the 12-40 and the 7-14mm f2.8 Pro lenses are mounted on the cameras, and it easily fits in here. And that's it. And the way the cameras are structured in here is a little pouch like this. Let's get rid of it. And so, awesome. And that's basically my main kit that I'll take with me almost everywhere. Obviously, I don't always need this big lens. Obviously, I don't always need the fisheye. I don't always need the 75. So if I know I won't be using them, I'll leave them home. The next thing is my little tripod. I recently picked up a Manfrotto BeFree. It's a video tripod because most of the things I do with my tripod these days is filming myself and actually doing panning shots and things like that. So I use that for video mostly. And if you check out my last episode, episode 8 of Adventure Photography on Location, I actually talk about long exposure photography with this camera without a tripod. Up to 15 seconds even. I obviously going to get a photography head for that tripod so I can switch it around if I really need to do ultra long exposures. This is basically the bag for the tripod, so you get an idea of what size we're looking at. So it's really small, light and compact. And that's about it. This is basically my kit, all my photography gear, and as I said in the beginning of the video, I don't always take everything. I'll think about the end result, what's the shot that I want before I go somewhere, and then what kind of equipment will I need. Now Micro Four Thirds is amazing because it's so small and light, and it allows me to go a little extra in the gear. I can take a little wider focal length, or I can take a little more of a zoom lens as well without having to worry that I'm going to be carrying an extra whole backpack of gear. Okay, that's it for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a good idea of what's in my camera bag now. If you have any questions or feedback, please leave it in the comments below. I read them all and I try to respond to everyone. And check out my Adventure Photography on Location episodes where you get a really good idea of actually how I use this gear and not just talk about it, and how we get results, and I try to explain things in a way that you can do it as well. If you love my work, please subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell icon so you get a notification whenever I upload a video, and check out my blog as well. There's a lot of extra information there, a lot of reviews of the gear, and a lot more into detail about the locations I go to and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully I see you next week again, and until then, keep shooting. This is the little stopper, so it's that's my washing. Do that later. So to my filters,